here. Oh, little sidestep and a jam by Wembanyama.
Oh, it's knocked away by Wembanyama.
This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here's Rob and RJ.
Hey, gather around. We got a whole bunch to talk about. It is the Morning Huddle. He's RJ. I'm Rob. We combined to create the Morning Huddle. We're glad you're with us. This boat is driven by Eazy-E, Edwin Hafner. We're all adorned appropriately in our college gear as college basketball in full swing. Hope you're enjoying the tournaments. Aggies will carry on. We'll have it live right here on San Antonio Sports Star today. Spurs playing, by the way. Don't go ahead and go down to the AT&T. It's a home game. They're up at Moody. They're playing.
Anyone that's gonna walk in just like knock on the glass.
Okay, I have a ticket for a home Spurs game.
Where's Jokic? See,
yeah, we don't get to see that guy. Okay.
So you're really bothered. You're really hot and bothered.
You know, the more it just is. No other team's fandom has been asked to put up with this kind of crap.
That's not true. That's not 100% true.
Well, the Green Bay Packers over a couple years had to deal with their going back and forth to Milwaukee. I remember that. And I know what the Spurs retort would be. How about all the time we're gone? How's that? How about we just find another place to play that suits our needs? How's that? So just take what we give you.
That's pretty rude. To say it that way.
Well, that's Seattle fan.
You know, we've brought up this week. We had the listener who brought up what was where was it the Boston the Celtics played?
Oh, they spent back in Hartford. They'd go up and play at the Civic Center up there, which is kind of like a convention center mall.
See, I was gonna say like at least the Packers thing, because you're right. They've played a couple of games in Milwaukee. At least like you're going to a somewhat metropolitan area. You know what I mean? Going from Green Bay to Milwaukee, like that's a logical leap, right? Going from Boston to Hartford, like what? Like that's the opposite end of the spectrum. You know, no disrespect to Austin, except pure disrespect to Austin for the purposes of this conversation. Austin is not Milwaukee. It's definitely not Hartford either. It's somewhere in the middle along that spectrum. But this doesn't bother me the way it does you. You feel scorned. You feel cheated and wrong.
I do. I feel like at a moment of I hate being taken advantage of, and I feel like we're being taken advantage of because we're too nice. Not a lot of franchises and fans get along the way that we do. And sometimes I think that this Spurs group takes a little bit of advantage of this familial, relationship that we've built.
La familia.
It's that thing that I feel like it's being stretched right now. It's the alternative is worse, and I understand that, but they know that I understand that, and that's what bothers me. Wemby was asked yesterday about playing in Austin and growing up with the as a Spur and their brand there in Austin.
This is how I'm trying to live through all my experiences in my life. I'm part of this. I'm part of the Spurs and part of this journey, and making them grow and become something more than it's been in the past is one of the one of my convictions and what I want to do. So yeah, of course, to me it's very important.
Playing in Austin, we got to grow the brand.
So that's a little nerve-wracking. I'll admit with you that's a little tough to hear. Certainly not putting words in Wemby's mouth, but there's a little bit of like, yeah, the way it's been in the past, not enough. It's a little tough.
And then you hear Pop yesterday in the presser in Austin. They're just having the best time. Austin, is really welcoming. Cool. And let's not even talk about the food. I mean, they got like really good restaurants up here. Like, man,
have you guys seen the cups that they put drinks in? They're these weird, mason jars, and the straws I think are paper. It's weird. It's cool.
So I watched this, and the sad thing is we get lost in the fact that we have a pretty stellar matchup tonight. Jokic And Wemby, let me tell you, in a couple years, this will be advertised for 3 days ahead of time, and it will not be Spurs Nuggets. It's going to be Jokic former versus Wemby current MVP battle of the Titans. That's what we're going to get in a couple years. And today we are lost in the fact that it's a game they're playing in Austin. And again, that's one of those things that kind of annoys me. This is a game that should be huge for a lot of different reasons. It's not even here.
I'll ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask you because you're it's just you and me talking. All right, you safe space, right? Do you care a little bit less because it's in Austin? Even 1%.
Yes, I care a little bit less.
Wow. So that's what I'm saying. It's more difficult to get hyped for the Wemby Jokic showdown than if it were
again. Here. I want my kid. I feel like my kids are at either my ex and her new husband's cool new fun house in Austin.
They have a pool.
And having a pool and all the latest video games, and the food is better. And I'm supposed to just sit back and take it. Like, oh, you know, that's how I feel. This is yesterday. Pop talking about, you know, what the things that are going to go on in Austin.
Are there any Austin restaurants you're excited to try?
We don't know each other personally, but maybe you've read things here and there.
I'm a single man.
I enjoy dinner. So you know the answer to your question.
Oh,
there will be dinner.
Pop.
And a beverage of some sort.
Oh, Pop.
The reporters walked out of there. He's hilarious.
That guy
He's
is
so nice.
Nice.
He's really charming.
I mean, he is just a delight. I can't get over this. You know, they've only won 14 games, right?
Hey, Austin, you know these dudes are kind of trash, right?
You know, we got 2 picks in the top 10 for a reason.
I don't objectively or independent of all this stuff, I don't think this is weird. What's made it weird is this. You know what I'm saying? Like the facade,
yes.
the act.
Just take the bus up and say the game and come on home. Here, it gets worse. It gets worse. So this is Pop. You know, we've already taken you guys don't know me, but I appreciate a good glass of wine and some fine dining, likes of which we can't find down there south of here. This is like summer camp. Listen to him talking about it's a nice break.
You know, it's fun to get out a little bit. I know that sounds simplistic, but it's true. You know, Austin's a great town, and it's always fun to come up here. And, you know, we got fans here, but wherever we go, Central, South Texas, you know, whether it's Laredo or here or any place else, there are fans that really enjoy Spurs, win or lose. So we wish it was a little bit more of the winning part.
Oh, you do? Good.
Being able to come up here and enjoy the area for a couple of days is a good break for all of us. It's nice to be here.
Oh, well, enjoy your little vacay.
All right, I'm kind of with you. I'm floating this way. Yeah, this to call it. Yeah, it's a little tough.
Yeah, it's a little staycation we're taking, a little getaway with the kids. You know, they got a up here in Austin, just a little north of here. You know, they got this big jungle place. All the kids, we're taking the kids up there tomorrow, and they're gonna tube, and all the coaches, we're gonna be able to break away to have some quiet time together. And the kids,
the cell phone reception here is so much better.
Oh my gosh,
faster. I mean, and I swear the pictures that I'm taking are clear. I think the air is more pure. I haven't, my allergies haven't been acting up the same.
Tomorrow they're taking the bus up to the Kalahari Resort, and the kids are all gonna go tubing and do some surfing and see the animals. And the coaches, the adults, we're gonna have some time on. It's great. This is the best little staycation we've had. By the way, we're playing the world champions tonight. Oh, by the way, the greatest player in the world is coming to play us tonight.
Everybody's got to make money. Everybody's got to, you know, get that paper. Everybody's got to make bread. I'm not knocking the Spurs for trying to expand their, you know, immediate market. That is a fair thing to try and do.
But I don't have to enjoy it, and you don't have to shove it at me. You don't have to continually remind me that I'm just the home.
It didn't have to be this gross. You know what I mean? Like, I would you at this point, would you be stunned if after they get blown out by 50 tonight, Pop grabs the mic and is like, look, I just want to say I haven't experienced it. Instead of being like, how dare y'all boo Kawhi? He's out here and he's like, this was just a really pleasant crowd. And that we really have enjoyed. We're looking
That's not who we are.
Sunday night.
Knock off the booing.
Knock it off. Home guy.
Think about that, the dichotomy between those two things for a minute. At home, it's like, you can't boo who you want to boo. You live in my house. You have to obey me. You have to do everything I say, including, not booing the guy who completely ruined this franchise. But here in Austin,
it's been a great break. This has been a lovely getaway.
This is just, wow.
I'm telling you, man. I just don't think we should have to take it so nicely.
There was a mint on my pillow this morning, and I woke up feeling refreshed. The hotel lobby, they had some sort of juice. It was called Rejuvenate, I think.
No,
it was, I just feel lighter.
And
I
tacos.
feel,
Have you guys had the breakfast tacos here? Do they have tacos in San Antonio? Because up here in Austin,
I think they call them burritos back home. They're tacos here. I mean, wow.
The Silver Black will continue. Thoughts on tonight? I mean, it was going to be difficult at best, but if you're on a vacation scenario where really the game is secondary, maybe they'll come in ready to play against the world champs, and maybe better, the world champs might have been treated to the same kind of day of fun that the Spurs seem to have been getting.
Jokic could not care less. Jokic is like, this sucks. Just get me out of here, man. Like, I am not your show pony to trot around here, whatever. You have food here. We have food at home too, so whatever. But dude, this is going to be a bloodbath. This is, you're talking about the best team in basketball operating at their peak level. I don't care what Boston offers. This is the machine versus a group that can't get out of their own way. I don't know that this is a game that exposes the Spurs, because I feel like they have a lot of those, but we've seen them be competitive in games and then blow it at the end. This won't be competitive. I mean, Denver's getting out to a hot lead and then kind of putting this thing on cruise control. And Wemby will have like 5 cool moments, and the Austin crowd will, be treated to that, I suppose. But they stand absolutely no chance.
Speaking of Wemby, we saw Golden State the other day. They got the little back-to-backer. Remember, we got them there, and then they came here and beat us. We fell asleep.
Well, yeah. Well, oh well.
Yesterday, Draymond in his podcast. Have you heard this?
I'm about to.
Well, Draymond was talking about his back-to-backer with Wemby, and all I can say is I appreciate what he had to say, and the rest of the league better be very afraid if Draymond is absolutely right.
Chet Holmgren is going to be a problem, and I've told y'all that on this podcast before, but I will tell you, I think there's a gap in between Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama. I honestly believe that there is a gap. Victor Wembanyama is just different, and Chet's different too, don't get me wrong, but there's levels of player in this league. That's just the case. It's always going to be the case. There's a gap. Victor Wembanyama is so good.
What? Well, we could just add in what we want. It was.
Does Zach Lowe know that Draymond said this?
Well, Zach Lowe's going to start plugging something bad about Draymond. Even Zach Lowe, I think in hindsight, looks back and goes, well, that was a hot take that didn't hold on very well. But Draymond, as he was talking about Wemby, predicted his future. And in the next couple of years, there might be a 3 initials right after his name.
You can see the growth in his game from where he was in the beginning of the year to where he is now. A lot less crazy shots he's taking, moving the ball, going DHOs just to get off the ball, then rolling, has great feel. He catches the ball in the middle of the paint. He always has a chance to get it to the rim and knows where he's at. Kid's special, absolutely special. And he may win MVP of the league in the next 2 years or so.
And Draymond called him already a top 20 player.
I mean, this isn't Draymond's a lot of things, but I feel like his opinion in this arena is pretty well trusted and certainly pretty well sourced. And what did he say that is even kind of remotely an exaggeration? It kind of feels like he's underselling Wemby, like he's actually being a little conservative with what a lot of other people have said. So Good for him. I mean, it's impossible to ignore at this point in time, and so that's really cool to hear.
I've never heard a team with a player get the kind of accolades that player is getting, and the team not be better. The dichotomy between the teams that we play and when they leave, they're like, that guy is ridiculous, and we've lost by 19. You're like, I just there's this disconnect that I have not been able to put together yet.
The closest thing I think is Russ's triple-double era.
You know what? Like well said.
That's the only window of any team player gap like that. It was like the Thunder existed just for Russ to put up triple doubles. That's like the only reason the franchise operated for a little while. So, but other than that, you're right. I mean, it generally is a rising tide that lifts all boats, but that hasn't happened here yet.
With the expectation that they continue to build. Pop was asked by the Austin media about, Wemby, and he's getting the kind of questions that we were asking months ago. And if we asked now, he'd snap at us. But, the question is Wemby a good guy to build around? He was, that kind of stuff. And, he was being nice. He gave the kind of response. But what he did say there is worthy of merit. We did find a dude that feels very much like the other dudes that have passed through here that are now wearing orange jackets and deserve statues.
He handles everything extraordinarily well. He just turned 20 about a month ago, but he's got a, high level of intelligence. His emotional maturity and just comfortableness in the world is pretty astounding for such a young man. So he's not involved in any of the hype or anything like that. He just wants to become a great basketball player, enjoy his life, his family, and his friends, that sort of thing. He's not a fan of himself, so to speak. He's the celebrity part that he's already garnered doesn't really affect him. He wins with class and he loses with grace. So we're fortunate to have somebody that has that kind of character to build around.
That was great. Yes, I think we all can concur in that. And, a long time ago, I wish I'd have gotten this advice before, but this has happened in the years since. I heard an old coach talking about when guys are getting recruited. He goes, when a scout comes and talks to you, I want you to replace whatever somebody says basketball, when they say basketball or your team or the university, and replace that with life. And if you put life and then they say, this is what will happen when you come here with my basketball team, and you take basketball team and you add in life, and in life, I'm going to teach you to do this, and you're going to be able to do this and do all that. When you hear at the end, when he says he went, what is it? Wins with class and loses with grace.
Loses with grace.
I appreciate that application.
That's a hard thing to do in any walk of life, let alone one that, hundreds of millions of people have an opinion on.
So here we sit. And predictions for tonight. I heard you said it didn't look good.
No, the Spurs are double-digit underdogs. Would you take that? You think they lose by or win anyway?
I'm very interested on my prize picks to see the final numbers here, because I kind of like the matchup. I like Wemby tonight. I think that this is one of those games that he's a kid. And it's kind of like his girlfriend's showing up to see him play. He got a bunch of new fans, but they all love him. So we'll be wearing our Valiant Brown, I'm sure. And the Brown's been good luck for him. So I think it'll be a worthy effort, though, in the end, a crushing defeat. I think that we'll give him a good fight there for a little while, but Wemby might have some numbers.
My main prediction is we see a minutes high from Wemby. I've been saying this all week. This is the whole reason they're there, is to show off and to put on a good show. And we're going to see Wemby play more basketball than he's ever played in this game tonight.
One of the more millennial things that I have noticed with the newer generation is their willingness to recycle, their willingness to take things that were old.
Okay.
It's retro, it's vintage, it's badass.
Recycling's only existed for 30 years, apparently.
Well, evidently it has. Okay. I just had a blue trash can. I didn't know what to put in that.